So hello, we were doing accounting principles for EPFO. This is our 18th chapter. We have already completed 17 chapters. So this is the last chapter that we'll do. After that, we'll take more MCQs. You can have a look at these chapters. You'll find this PDF on the Telegram channel. The name is EduAastra. At the same time, you'll find other PDFs as well and study material for other exams, whether it be your current affairs, reasoning, reports or indices, and several other things. So let's start with our 18th chapter, that is share capital transactions. So introduction: share capital refers to the total capital raised by a company through the issue of shares. It represents ownership interest of shareholders in the company. Under Companies Act 2013, share capital is classified and managed as per section 43, 44 and 61 to 72. The accounting treatment is governed by Accounting Standard 13 and Schedule 3 of the Companies Act. क्या क्या AS 13, that is your Accounting Standard 13 and Schedule 3 of Companies Act. Accounting Standard हमने फुल चैप्टर किया है, बहुत बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक. AS 1 पहले आया हुआ है, AS 6 पहले आया हुआ है, AS 9 आया हुआ है, AS 10 भी हमने देखा था जब हम डिप्रिशिएशन के बारे में पढ़ रहे थे तब. तो बहुत बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चैप्टर्स है, गो एंड हैव अ लुक. बहुत स्कोरिंग है. If you'll watch even once, then also you'll be able to recall when you'll see the questions. Questions are so easy. And these 6 core topics will definitely help you to score well. 6 core topics like insurance, social security, auditing, accounting and so on. So we'll do all these 6 core topics. Other than that, history, geography, polity, your polity and governance, then your economy, current affairs. We'll take that as well briefly. At the same time, English is also very important. There is a playlist called Idiom and Phrases English on the same channel. So direct questions are there from idiom and phrases. And even in English, questions are not like they take it from anywhere. There are some fixed questions which you will see in all the exams if we talk about English. So very scoring, maximum question you will see English ke. Then other topics, we have discussed it very properly in the first 2 videos of this series called EPFO 2025. So in this series, first 2 videos are about strategy, how to clear this exam, how to prepare, right resources, then number of questions from each subject as well as the cutoff. So you can have a look at those videos and then prepare from whichever source you are preparing. In this, the conduct is going to be like, we'll take the theory as before, then we'll see some of the previous year questions जो आए हैं उस particular chapter से, and then we'll move to our flashcards, or you can see expected questions that you can use for your revision as well 2-3 days before the exam. Everything will be on Telegram as well, so there is no need to note down. You can just have a look, listen to whatever I'm saying, and then later on have a look at the PDF, and before the exam revise the flashcards. So type of share capital: authorized capital, maximum amount of share capital that a company can issue, mentioned in the memorandum of association. Issued capital: portion of authorized capital offered to the public for subscription. Subscribed capital: portion of issued capital actually subscribed by investors. Called up capital: portion of subscribed capital that has been called for payment by the company. Paid up capital: amount of money actually received by the company from shareholders. Uncalled capital: amount that is not yet called from shareholders. ठीक है, uncalled, amount that is not yet called from shareholders. Then reserve capital: portion of uncalled capital which can be called up only in case of winding up. Reserve क्या होता है? आपके किसी चीज़ का रिजर्व है, रखा है वो चीज़, that you can use later on. और ये किस चीज़ का रिजर्व है? तो ये uncalled capital का. So portion of uncalled capital which can be called up only in case of winding up, when you are closing everything. ठीक है, तब you will need that reserve capital. So name से ही you will be able to answer. Then classes of shares, types of share and features या rights. So equity shares, ordinary shares with voting right, residual claim on profit and assets, eligible for dividends after preference shareholders. Then preference shares, preferential rights as to dividend and repayment of capital. Usually carry fixed rate of dividend, generally no voting right. Labor laws is also very important for this exam. We will take that as well properly जैसे हमने auditing किया है complete. Then types of preference shares: dividend, cumulative divided by non-cumulative. So unpaid dividends accumulate, ये accumulate, और lapse या non-cumulative. Then redemption, redeemable, irredeemable. So redeemable are repayable after a period. ठीक है, redeemable क्या है? आप repay कर सकते हो after some time. Irredeemable, not permitted under Companies Act. Participation, participating, non-participating. So participate further in surplus profits after equity dividend. Convertibility, convertible, non-convertible. So convertible into equity shares after a fixed period. Then issue of shares types. So issue at par, shares issued at face value. ठीक है, किस पे इशू होते हैं? फेस वैल्यू पे. Issue at premium, तो shares issued above face value, excess credited to security premium reserves. Issue at discount, so share issued below face value, prohibited except for sweat equity shares under section 54. Then accounting entries for issue of shares. So case 1, issue at par. In this, bank account debit to share application account, amount received on application. ठीक है, बैंक अकाउंट से डेबिट. देन शेयर एप्लीकेशन अकाउंट डेबिट टू शेयर कैपिटल अकाउंट. ठीक है, इसमें क्या हुआ? एप्लीकेशन मनी ट्रांसफर्ड. Then issue at premium, so bank account debit to share capital account to security premium account. Then calls in arrears and calls in advance. So calls in arrears में when shareholder failed to pay the call amount. Call in advance में when money received before it is due. Then calls in arrest account debit to share capital account and bank account debit to call in advance account. Now if you are like ये सब क्या है, so don't worry, we'll take questions. उन क्वेश्चन से you will find question in the exam. If some question is there from that particular chapter, then you will find that question in our flashcards as well. So questions are not going to be tough. You will find very easy questions. Labor laws is also very important, so stay tuned. We'll do labor laws as well. Then utilization of securities premium, section 52, Companies Act 2013. Premium can be issued only for issue of fully paid bonus shares, writing of preliminary expenses, then writing of expense discount on issue of shares debentures, then providing for premium on redemption of preference shares debentures, then buyback shares as per section 68, then issue on shares for consideration other than cash. So when shares are issued to vendors for purchase of assets, sundry assets account debit to vendors account. So vendor account में क्या हुआ? क्रेडिट हो गया. Then vendor account debit to share capital account to securities premium account. So shares issued to vendor. Then issue of bonus shares. Definition. So shares issued free of cost to existing shareholders out of accumulated profit या reserve. क्या होता है? Issue of bonus shares. तो shares issued free of cost to existing, जो already existing shareholders हैं उनको, out of accumulated profit या फिर जो भी reserve है उनसे. Purpose to capitalize reserve and reward shareholders, उन्हें reward करने के लिए. Then permitted under section 63 Companies Act 2013. Then source of bonus issue, free reserve, securities premium, capital redemption reserve. Entry, reserve account debit to share capital account. Then buyback of shares, section 68 Companies Act 2013. Aspect, meaning company repurchases its own shares. Source of buyback, free reserve, securities premium or proceeds of issue of other shares. Limit, max 25% of paid up capital and free reserves. Approval requires board या special resolution. Then entry क्या होगी? accounting entry, share capital account debit, securities premium account debit to कहाँ पे जा रहा है? बैंक account. Then forfeiture of shares, when a shareholder fails to pay allotment or call money, the company may forfeit the shares. So इसमें क्या होगा? entry, share capital account debit to calls in arrears account to forfeited shares account. Then reissue of forfeited shares, तो bank account debit, forfeited shares account debit to share capital account. Profit on reissue transfer to capital reserve. ठीक है, कहाँ पे? capital reserve. Then redemption of preference shares, तो governed by section 55 of Companies Act 2013, can be redeemed only if fully paid up out of profit available for dividend or fresh issue of shares. Premium payable on redemption can be adjusted from security premium reserve. Then entry, preference share capital account debit, premium on redemption account debit to preference shareholders account. Then preference shareholders account debit to bank account. Then difference between equity and preference shares. So basis dividend, variable or fixed. Then voting rights, full या limited. ठीक है, इक्विटी शेयर्स एंड प्रेफरेंस शेयर्स की बात हो रही है. रिस्क हायर, इसमें लोअर. प्रायोरिटी इन कैपिटल लास्ट, हियर इज फर्स्ट. कैपिटल की प्रायोरिटी. Then convertibility can be converted and usually not converted. Then key formula, paid up capital, called up capital minus calls in arrears. Then reserve capital, part of uncalled capital for winding up. हमने definition देखा था किसका, reserve capital का, कि क्या होगा, part होगा, कब होगा यूज़, बस जब uncalled capital की बात हो रही है, और उसमें भी किस केस में, जब winding up हो रहा है, ठीक है. Then capital reserve, profit from forfeiture or reissue of shares, book value per share. So equity shares fund divided by number of equity shares. तो इससे क्या निकल जाएगा, बुक वैल्यू आपकी पर शेयर. फॉर्मूलाज हमने बहुत सारे देखे थे और भी, स्ट्रेट लाइन मेथड, डेप्रिसिएशन वाले में, ठीक है, तो वो भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. गो टू डेप्रिसिएशन वाला चैप्टर एज वेल, उसमें एडवांस वाले हमने बहुत सारे फॉर्मूलाज देखे थे जिनसे डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन कैन कम. रिटन डाउन वैल्यू मेथड भी देखा था, तो ऑल ऑफ दैट इज़ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. देन प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस, शेयर कैपिटल विच इज़ नॉट कॉल्ड अप बाय कंपनी एक्सेप्ट ड्यूरिंग वाइंडिंग अप इज कॉल्ड रिजर्व कैपिटल. हमने 3 बार देख लिया, अभी टेबल में देखा था, उससे पहले भी देखा कि रिजर्व कैपिटल की बात कब होगी, जब वाइंडिंग अप हो रहा है, ठीक है. देन शेयर्स इशूड एट प्राइस हायर देन फेस वैल्यू, शेयर इशूड एट प्रीमियम, सिक्योरिटी प्रीमियम कैन बी यूज्ड फॉर इशू ऑफ बोनस शेयर्स. फॉरफीटेड शेयर्स रीइशूड एट प्रॉफिट, वेयर इज द प्रॉफिट ट्रांसफर्ड, कहाँ पे, कैपिटल रिजर्व. देन preference shares are redeemable under Section 55 of Companies Act 2013. Section 55 Companies Act 2013. Which share carries residual ownership rights? Equity shares. Maximum limit of buyback 25% of paid up capital and free reserves. Issue of bonus shares result in capitalization of profits. Then which of the following cannot be the source for bonus issue? Revaluation reserve. Shares issued to vendor for purchase of assets, so issue for consideration other than cash. Now let's come to our flashcard or our expected questions, very very important, are going to be very fruitful for you for your revision as well. Then authorized capital, maximum capital allowed by MOA. MOA is Memorandum of Association. Okay, then issued capital, offered to public, subscribed capital accepted by public, called up capital demanded by a company, paid up capital amount actually received, uncalled capital amount not demanded yet, reserve capital, uncalled part for winding up, equity share full voting rights, preference shares fixed dividend priority rights, redeemable preference share repayable after period. ठीक है, डेफिनेशन में देखा था, repayable after a certain period. Then securities premium, credit balance or issue above par, issues of security premium, bonus shares expenses right of redemption premium. Then bonus shares free issue to shareholders. Then buyback, purchase of own shares. Then limit on buyback 25% of paid up free reserves. Forfeited shares, the shares cancelled for non-payment. The reissue profit transferred to capital reserve. Then redemption entry, preference share capital debit to bank. Calls in arrears, unpaid call amount. Calls in advance, receipt before due date. Shares issued to vendor, non-cash issue. Preference dividend, fixed rate. Equity dividend, variable. Then bonus issue source, free reserve or premium. Then revaluation reserve cannot be used for bonus issue. So that's it in this. Please have a look at the PDF as well on the Telegram EduAastra, so that you'll be able to recall when you see something of this sort in the exam. Again, I am saying this, don't leave all of these core topics for EPFO, because if you are preparing for any exam, you must be having sound knowledge about geography, history, your polity and governance, current affairs, and other basic topics, your reasoning, maths, English. But these 6 topics will also have around 25 questions, and it can go up to 30 as well. So for 25-30 questions, and all these 6 topics are very very easy. So don't think about leaving these topics. You don't have that much of time, we know. So go through these videos. After that, have a look at the PDF, and we'll be doing complete course. So have a look at those PDFs as well, that we'll be covering in the next 10-15 days. Okay, so that's it. All the very best and thank you.